Institute's chair. Kevin Rubia is my name, and I'm the Toastmasters Leadership Institute chair of District 114. What the TLI does is it organizes training sessions, and this month is no different. Today, we are joined by two amazing guests who I will introduce in the course of this session. We'll then have a quiz from the quiz maestro himself. First, I'll call on Mercy Shitolwa, our Sergeant at Arms and Zoom Master, to let us know how we'll conduct this meeting. Over to you, Mercy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rubia. Good evening and welcome to today's session. Kindly have your videos on if you are in a safe place. If you're not in a safe place that does not have a distractive background, then please stay with your camera off. We encourage you when speaking, don't be like me. Please have your videos on so that we can see your awesome faces. Finally, try be in a place that is quiet when called upon so that we do not have distractions and we are able to hear your nice voice. With that, enjoy yourselves. Thank you, and back to you, Dr. Rubia.
Thank you, Mercy Shitolwa. Let us put on our videos if we can. It will make the room warm, as it is chilly for some of us here in Nairobi, Kenya. Speaking of which, where are you joining us from? Please let us know in the chat as I display the agenda for this session that will be posted later in a few minutes in the chat. We have two major sessions today. Speechcraft that will be taken by Anne H. Golden, Distinguished Toastmaster. We'll have a Q&A session after that. Feel free to post your questions in the chat before then or hold them until that time, should you want to raise them verbally. We'll then have our second main session, the Youth Leadership Program, taken through by Sarah Adhiambo, followed by a Q&A, and last and not least, the pull-up banner challenge. Please pay attention, as what is going to be discussed will be part of the quiz, and number one will win their club a banner, while the top three finishers will be recognized by the district in a poster. In the second page is a program that we've been running. We've been running a program throughout this Toastmasters year, how to become a Toastmasters Leadership Institute certified trainer. More on that later. Just to see what your comments are in the chat as I call on our first presenter. Let us see. Nairobi, Kenya, Rahab, thank you for letting us know. Andrew Opere, welcome from Nairobi, Kenya. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Lea Minja, Karibu. Eldoret, Kenya. And joining from the warm Mombasa is David Gray. I'd be remiss to not wish you a happy Eid ul-Fitr, Eid Mubarak to especially our Muslim brothers and sisters in the house. Eric Karaoke joins us from Nairobi, Kenya as Winfred Muisio. Jacqueline joins us from Eldoret. Keep engaging me in the chat. Wendy, thank you for that. And I will proceed to introduce our first speaker. Today, we will have our first session Mastering Speechcraft, the blueprint to build membership. Let's start with a few questions. What is the best way to build membership? Secondly, what's involved in running a Speechcraft series? Finally, what's in it for you and your club by running a Speechcraft? In this segment, we will answer these 3 questions and so much more. You will master the 11 essential tips to running a successful Speechcraft series. Secondly, you'll discover the benefits of serving as a Speechcraft coordinator, and you will learn how to plan and organize each Speechcraft session. To inspire and educate us today is one of Speechcraft's most passionate and accomplished trainers. Our presenter is a force to be reckoned with in the Toastmasters world, a 4-time distinguished Toastmaster whose dedication to excellence and growth shines through every role she takes. A natural-born leader, Anne has held every club officer role multiple times and taken her expertise to new heights through various district leadership positions. In 2023, inspired by her success in leading a transformative Speechcraft program for a nonprofit organization, she developed and launched the groundbreaking Speechcraft Coordinator Training Seminars. Passionate about helping others achieve personal and professional growth, Anne is deeply committed to fostering leadership, empowering individuals, and sharing her proven strategies for success. Please join me in warmly welcoming Anne, a genuinely inspiring leader and mentor. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Anne Golden.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I appreciate that. And good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good evening, loud and clear.
Okay, good. You can still hear me, right? All right, terrific.
Right.
All right, so let's begin this session. I have 20 minutes with you. Our Zoom master, your Sergeant of Arms, is going to be putting a handout in the chat. This handout encompasses everything I'm going to cover today. It's an all-in-one handout. I believe you will find it useful. It also includes best tips for a Speechcraft. It includes a Speechcraft checklist, and it includes some other documents which I had created for my Speechcraft that you may find helpful in running a Speechcraft. So let's begin. To begin with, Speechcraft is a short-term public speaking workshop designed by Toastmasters to help participants to develop their communication skills in a condensed, supportive environment. It's to benefit non-Toastmasters is the purpose of it. And eventually for those non-Toastmasters to join your club to continue building their speaking skills and to develop leadership skills. Who would you invite to a Speechcraft? Is there anyone you know who's on a job, who's looking for a new job or a job interview? Someone in work or a colleague you might know or a friend you might know who has an important presentation to deliver in work and they want to freshen up on their presentation skills? Or how about someone that needs to make a wedding toast and is scared to death of public speaking? This will help them overcome that fear and be able to deliver that toast comfortably and confidently. The purpose of a Speechcraft is to help build your own community within your club. You build relationships with the participants who will be called Speechcrafters. And in the process, you will be developing their trust. Just like in our clubs, we develop relationships over a period of time with our members and building that community, because we can go anywhere for the education purpose. The reason why we stay with our clubs is because of the community that we have. And therefore, when the Speechcrafters get that sense of community from you when you're working with them, they're going to want to join the club. And it is a club's #1 membership building tool, and that is Speechcraft. It's been proven. Struggling clubs who hold Speechcrafts have more of a success rate of people joining their club, for the most part, than from holding an open house. I just coached a Toastmaster in District 95 on her Speechcraft sessions, and she received 3 new members to her club. Today, what I want to cover with you is I want to overview the digital bundle. What is the benefit for the coordinator? How to plan it. I'll explain the credit that they get once they become members and share some resources with you. Let's go over the digital bundle rather quickly. Who can purchase it and what are the requirements? This is very important. You must be a Toastmaster in good standing, and you must be part of a club that is in good standing who will finance the bundle. That means they must have 8 or more members. When you purchase the bundle, you'll be given an order number, and that is your access code for the Speechcraft gateway to activate it. Each bundle you purchase gives you 5 participants. Toastmasters recommends that you have 1 coordinator for every 5 to make sure that you are given a quality session to the Speechcrafters. The most they recommend is 1 coordinator to 8 people. What I recommend is if you have another member in your club who's looking to get their DTM, give them an opportunity to co-coordinate and split the 4 up. And you each can get credit, because you only need 1 Speechcrafter to hold a Speechcraft session. You don't want to do it for just 1, but if it came down to it, you could do it just for 1 and it would still count. Just so you know that the bundle comes for 5 slots for 5 participants. If you don't use all the slots, there's no refund. I recommend in that case that you get one of your newest members in your club to join the Speechcraft. When you purchase the bundle, they give you marketing materials and they give you some important videos that will help you in presenting the Speechcraft. They're excellent videos. They might even help refresh some skills for you. It's important that you review those materials. And the materials are only for 1 coordinator. But like I said, if you have 2, you can split it and they will have access in the gateway, Speechcraft gateway portal. Now, who pays for it? The club. It is recommended that the club treasurer makes the purchase for the club. I realize some corporate clubs don't have treasurers, so what happens in that case? Still have it go through the club. If a member purchases it, make sure you reimburse somehow through the club. If you don't have a treasurer, make sure the itemization through your bank account is separate so that it can be tracked. You don't want to hurt Toastmasters nonprofit status by mixing and mingling funds. The participants pay for the bundle and for the materials. They pay tuition. It's called tuition. So it's $10 per person. They pay for the materials if you come into any cost for materials or certificates. If you're renting a place, you can incorporate that cost. And payment is made directly to the club, preferably. What can you charge for the Speechcraft? Toastmasters permits you to charge up to 12 months of TI membership dues, which is in US dollars stated, 120 US dollars. You would have to transfer that into your currency. And clubs may use Speechcraft as a fundraiser for educational purposes. What does that mean? That means that you get 5 people who participate, you charge them the $60 for the new membership fee. You charge them the $60 for the membership dues of 6 months, $20 for the new membership fee, which gives them their path. If you have club dues, you charge them the club dues. At a minimum, it's $90. And what you're doing during the whole time is promoting that they will be joining your club. That's how you get them to become members. You charge them up front, and if they don't join your club, then that's your fundraising money. You get to keep the money as a club, but you need to spend that money for educational purposes. You know how in Toastmasters, we all like to have parties, right? We like to have food. Now you can't spend it on the food. You have to buy ribbons for members, or maybe sponsor a member to go to your district conference, or that type of a thing. That's how you can use the fundraising. Let's move on. This I received from Cheryl Rouse. Cheryl Rouse is an accredited speaker. She does her presentations on marketing Speechcraft, and she received this from that gentleman down there, Mahav, from District 129. And so I am free to share this, and this is included in your handout as well. And it gives you a breakdown on how to figure out what to charge the participants. That's included in your handout as well. And if you notice, he also says that you can identify costs for catering. If you have the Speechcraft in a place in person, and if you bring food, you can include that. And then you just divide the total cost by participants. And if you're paying a rental fee, you can charge them a nominal fee for that rent and spread it across the 5 participants. That's why it's built in to charge as much as $120. The purpose of the Speechcraft is not for the club to lose money on it. It's to benefit the club to bring in members. And by having them paying the 6 months of membership dues and that $20, they get a 6 months free membership. It's like Toastmasters telling us we get our first path for free when we pay the $20 membership fee. It's all acceptable promo. Let's move on to the coordinator benefits. And this is important for you. Why would you want to be a coordinator? Well, if it fulfills one of your requirements for your Distinguished Toastmaster Award, you may not be thinking about that right now, but this gives you an opportunity to check that box off. It's either a Speechcraft coordinator, a youth leadership program you have to run, or a club sponsor. This gives you an opportunity to check that box off. The second, by doing, you will continue to improve your communication and leadership skills because it puts us out of our comfort zone. We're going to be talking to strangers again, the 5 of them, to try to convince them to become Toastmasters. That's awkward. I'm 4-time DTM. That's still awkward. I'm telling you, it's not easy to do. You're out of your comfort zone all the time. But the beauty of it is that's why we're in Toastmasters. That's what it teaches us, to pay it forward. You're going to be mentoring participants in their first steps in public speaking and helping them grow. And when you see the aha moment on them, that they recognize they have an aha moment, that is so rewarding for you. You receive recognition and credibility, not only with your district leaders, but if you're working, this is project management, project planning, and project management. You can definitely put this in your performance review for the year with your employer and let them know what you're doing. When you teach something, it reinforces your own knowledge and ability, and it builds your self-confidence. And the most important thing with a Speechcraft is you are networking and you're building a community to attract new members. I always say that if they don't like you after 6 or 8 weeks, they're never going to like you. And if they don't like you, you don't want them as members of your club, right? I got news for you. They're going to love you after the 6 to 8 weeks because you're helping them becoming better at public speaking. And they're going to appreciate it for you. Appreciate you for it. I loved it. Now let's quickly move into the planning. This is in your handout as well, and I developed this timesheet, basically this timeline. So you have an idea as to why Toastmasters recommends that you need 6 to 8 weeks to plan this Speechcraft out. You can't all of a sudden decide today that you're going to conduct a Speechcraft and then schedule it next week. You need the time to do it. And this tells you what you need in planning 6 to 8 weeks. You need to decide how long your course is going to be, and you need to set the date and time. You also need to say when you're going to hold the sessions. Are you going to hold it during your regular meetings, or are you going to hold it at a separate time? And if so, will your sessions be 1 or 2 hours? 1 hour, you don't have as much time. 2 hours, you have more time for the speech crafters to complete their speeches. You need to decide to establish your tuition costs, because you need to go to your executive committee in your club and say, I'd like to have a Speechcraft session, and get them to buy in and say, yes, we will do it, because you're going to need help. And you need time to review all the Speechcraft protocols. You need to know your legal responsibility, and you need time to go into the gateway to review the materials, because they give the coordinator oodles and oodles of material. You are not left on your own to learn what you have to teach. They teach you what you need to teach, you learn it, and then you teach it. It's like a curriculum in high school or in college. But they give you all the materials and all the information that you need. That's what's a beauty about it. Toastmasters does not leave you hanging. Now, this is why it's important to get the buy-in from your club, because you are going to need your members to help you to conduct these Speechcraft sessions. You're going to need them to act as guides, which are mentors for the Speechcrafters, helping them to develop their first speeches. Believe it or not, these people come in are scared to death of writing a speech. They forget how to do it. You need to help them. You need Toastmasters to present those educational presentations. They're taught how to do a topic first, and then they incorporate it into their speech. And I'll show you what the presentation material is. You want your educational presenters to get credit for it, for their pathways. So they'll need an evaluator, because you can earn credit in your pathways by doing this, by giving speeches and by being the evaluator, because initially the speech crafters need evaluators. So you have someone evaluate you as an evaluator. That gives you credit in your level 1. Table Topics Master and General Evaluator, and Toastmaster of the Day. There are roles that you're required to fulfill, leadership roles, before level 4 and pathways. Timer and the counter is optional, but Table Topics Master, General Evaluator, and Timer are important. I will tell you that the speeches are not as long as they are in a normal Toastmasters meeting, and Table Topics is only 30, 60, and 90 seconds. It's shorter, so you can fit a lot more into the meeting. It's not meant to go as long. This is your educational Speechcraft presentation materials, and your Sergeant of Arms is going to gladly put that in chat for you, this link. It's free. It's out there in the store. It's the Better Speaker series. Selecting your topic. It teaches you, you would teach them how to select a topic. People don't realize, driving a car to work every day, you probably come across some things that you could talk about a speech. You know, the guy that's racing on the highway to get to work. Conversation you heard in the Dunkin' Donuts or in your local coffee shop. Things happen every day, and so you teach them the lesson, and then they do a speech on it. There's body language and vocal variety. You speak about that, because they have no idea. So we are taught by Toastmasters that we need to teach them the lesson first, so they give them clues and ideas on how to do their speech and how to present it, how to write it and how to present it. This is something I created for the role validation to help keep things straight. There's quite a few roles you need to fill, and I created a spreadsheet to do that. So this was the role validation. You create that in Excel. And then what I did on the first sheet was I listed all my sessions on the left there in the column, and it's by date. And I shared the spreadsheet with my volunteers so they could come in and sign up for whatever role they want. And as you can see from the top here, the drop down, you just type in and it's already pre-selected, and they can choose what they want to do. That way you can keep track of who your volunteers are. Does everybody see that? up here. All right. Where do they get credit from? Choose a topic. Wasn't that on the Better Speaker series? Body language and vocal variety. Here's the body language and the vocal variety right here. And then the vocal varieties up here, I had them combined. These are the topics that they have to develop a speech and use in their presentation for their speech. And there are 8 speeches here. If you combine the vocal variety and body language into one, it eliminates a speech. They get credit for every speech that they do. This is also in your handout. They just do the icebreaker, they get credit for the icebreaker. If they complete 4 speeches, they will come to your club with a level 1 completion. And this is a further breakdown. If you want, you can take a snippet of the handout of this. This I did not include, but this is an Excel spreadsheet. And I show you that if they complete all 8 speeches, they will come into your club completing level 1, 1 level 2, which is the introduction to Toastmasters, and they will complete both electives in level 3. That means your club will earn a DCP point for the level 1, and they only have 3 speeches to go to complete level 2 and level 3. It's a win-win situation for your club. You get them to join your club, you get DCP points, and within 4 months, they complete their level 2 and their level 3. Do you think they're going to be motivated? Do you think they're going to motivate your members that are dragging their feet? Oh, you betcha, because these young people are coming in and they're surpassing them, and they're going to motivate members. Sometimes we need someone to push us, and that's what this will do for your club, and it will generate energy in your club like you won't believe. Quickly to go through resources. This is what I did. I organized my files to keep things straight. I recommend you do the same thing, and I'm going to show you how I did it real quickly. This was my Speechcraft project. As you see over here, I created a folder. As I told you, on the Speechcraft Gateway, there are coordinator instructions. I downloaded them all. Speechcraft guides, I wrote them and I downloaded. And then there's Speechcraft session resources, which are on the Gateway. Why would you download everything? What if the internet's down and you need those resources? So download the information, put it in folders. Then what I did was I had 8 sessions, as you see. There's coordinator instructions for each session. It's a curriculum. It tells you how to conduct the lesson. What did I do? I put them in each of the sessions so that when I went to session 1, all my materials were there. So you need to download it, sort it out, read through it, and know what you're supposed to do. There's also templates. They give you all the templates for a 4, a 6, or an 8-week session. And they suggest to you what topics to cover for the educational presentation sessions in them. That is my presentation. I hope I did it in time. I think I did.
Yes, you did.
All right. It was quick, but it had to be. Any questions? Any questions? No, I don't send slides. I give you all the information in the handouts. The slides are my proprietary. I created them, and so I don't really share them. This video is being recorded, so you will have access to the video later on. So there will be a video, and Kevin will share that with the district, right, Kevin?
Right. And I can start with the questions. I'll first hand it over to Chibole and Danje. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anne. A quick one. There is a time frame or a time period within which you should execute the program once you purchase the digital bundle. I am assuming that's one. And if that is the case, how do you ensure that the speech crafters actually complete the program within the stipulated period of time? Thank you.
Terrific. when you purchase the bundle, there's no deadline to use it, number one. To make sure that they complete in the gateway, you as the coordinator will mark what they completed. They will only get credit for what they complete. I will tell you, life does happen and they will miss a session or two. You can offer them to do the speech at your club so that they can complete the speech. If not, they only get credit for what they do. So if they don't complete 4 speeches, they won't come in with a level 1, but they will get credit for the speeches that they did do. Once they become a member, they are they need to contact Toastmasters Education to say they've now joined your club and they need credit for the work they did. And I also recommend that the VPE be copied on that email so that the VPE can follow up with Toastmasters Education, because only TI can give them credit in the portal for that. You, as the VPE of the club, cannot. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Yes.
Chibole. Rahab, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anne. I wanted to ask about having more than one person doing the project. I had you mentioning that someone else who also wants DTM can also jump into your project. Please explain how that works and how you get credit if it's someone else's project.
Okay. You have to be from the same club. All right, because it's a club-sponsored event and you have to enter that information into the portal. You would need more than 5 participants. So 2 people would have to purchase the bundle. And you can run the courses simultaneously together, like have a joint session. And so they can get credit for it. And they would come in and they would create their own session, because each of you have to sign into the portal. They won't be able to see what you have and you can't see what they have, who their members are. It would be split. That's how that would work. And the member has to be from the same club. You can't have one club sponsor the Speechcraft and have a member from a different club. They have to be from the sponsoring club. That's how they can get credit.
Oh, thank you. That makes sense. But you can, if I want to learn from another speech, someone else doing a speechcraft in another club, I can do that and maybe get a point for a project I'm doing,
Yeah.
like managing a project or something.
No, you can't get credit for it if you go to another club and observe and learn.
No,
You would have to.
you're helping them out. Like maybe they have more than 5, but they don't have someone else who wants to do the speechcraft.
Right, but you can't help another club and get credit for it. You won't be allowed to be the coordinator. The system won't allow you to be entered as the coordinator. It has to be from the same club.
What
So,
I mean is, can I, if I'm helping someone else as as something on my pathways, not taking over their speechcraft.
oh, yes. Like if you're giving a speech, yes. You can
Okay.
get credit in your pathways, yes. Have them evaluate. If they can't, generally, if you're a presenter, an educational presenter, they have that evaluated at the meeting so the speech crafters learn how an evaluation is done. So you get an evaluation and that's how you would get credit. And you can use a generic evaluation form and then you can apply it to any project. Generally, it's professionally speaking because you're speaking for more than the 7 minutes. Sometimes the presentation could be longer and you can get to choose what project you want to apply it to.
Okay, thank you
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sorry, it took me a while to understand. I apologize.
No worries on that. Thank you, Rahab, for the question. There is a question in the chat. Thank you, DTM Ann, for the great session. What is the maximum number of participants for a Speechcraft program?
If you're going to do a combine, I wouldn't do more than 10. Generally, 5, you can do it with just 5. 5 can be the maximum. If you have more people interested that sign up, that's when you would need the second coordinator. Actually, there's no limit, but you have to keep in mind, you don't want it so big that that the speech crafters can't benefit from the session. I would do no more than 10 in a combined meeting, which means coordinator A and coordinator B come together and hold their sessions together. But five is beautiful because it allows that small atmosphere for them to learn and give time for the mentors to be able to help them, because you need one Speechcraft guide for every Speechcrafter. So the more you have, the more you need help. So it's better if you do it with 5. Does that answer your question, Nicholas? I guess it does. Okay.
Yes. And on that note, does it mean that if you have more than 5 participants, for the extra 5, you need another digital bundle?
Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay.
Because you only get 5 per bundle. And it's $50. So it's $10 a bundle. And if you don't use all the seats in the second bundle, again, I recommend bringing in one of your newest members to fast track them on their pathways and have, because what it is, it's the basic speaking skills that they're taught. Basically level 1 that they're taught and part of level 2. And that's what they're taught. They're taught the basic speaking skills to help get them up and comfortable in speaking in front of people.
Indeed. And he says thank you in the chat, meaning he got answered. A question that's coming to me is, should you have to drop off for whatever reason as the Speechcraft coordinator, can you transfer the credits to someone else? And must they be in your club?
They would definitely have to be in your club. And you can, if for some reason you can't complete it, you can change the coordinator, but it has to be someone from within the sponsoring club. And it can only be sponsored at the club level. Your district can't sponsor it, and your area and division directors can't sponsor it. Now, if they're in your club, they can participate and help you, but they can't like conduct it at that level. But your district could give you an incentive for holding a Speechcraft, and you know how they give you your district bucks or whatever, they could do that.
Fantastic. Any other question, friends? Yes, over to you, Division Director Wahiga.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Anne, for that great presentation. From the answer you gave to the last question, does it mean that, for example, at the division level, I have a club, I have an organization that wants Speechcraft. For me to attend to that particular organization, I must pick a member of my club, or can I, because these are the division level, they have come to me at the division level. Can I just pick somebody else, somebody from a different club, from my club to run that particular Speechcraft?
Yes, you could run it as a member of that club as well. If you were going for your DTM, you could run it as a member of that club, but you couldn't run it saying you were running it from Division A, or you're running it from District 114. You're a member of Club A, and you need something for your DTM, and you want to be a Speechcraft coordinator. You can do it, but you would have to be at the club level. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And one final question, if that's okay, DTM Ann.
Yes.
The question is, once you're done with the Speechcraft, I presume that the program is closed. Does that mean it's the material will no longer be accessible to you as a coordinator and to the Speechcrafters? And for how long does that happen?
Okay. Once it's over, once the coordinator, number one, once the coordinator signs off on all the speeches that the speech crafters completed. The speech crafters get a certificate, and it's just a certificate of participation. It's like the certificate we get when we complete a level. It's within their base camp. You also, as a coordinator, will get a certificate saying that you completed it, and it will be in your view through the coordinator tracking. You will need to retrieve your certificate. Once you have your last session, you have 90 days to download any materials that you need, to retrieve anything you need. After that, all that stuff is gone. It's locked out. Toastmasters International still has that information, but you will no longer have access to it. And once you set your date, it's difficult to change it. So give serious thought about when you want to set your date. You have marketing to do ahead of time. Don't try and set your date 3 weeks out if you haven't done any preparation or anything like that. You want to give it at least a month out from your marketing to give time for people to respond. And you work your network. That's what you do. That's how you get people. Someone said to me the other week, well, how am I going to get people to come? All the advertising's done. I said, now it's the waiting game. But keep posting on social media, talk it up in your network, whatever. That's how you get people to come.
Fantastic.
Yes, each coordinator has to be from the same club. Yes, Josephine.
But other people can still assist, but do not
Yes.
get credit for coordination.
Correct. They can get credit for the Toastmaster leadership role, which you need to do before level 4. The general evaluator role, they can claim credit for that. If they give a speech, get an evaluation. If they give an evaluation and they need that project, ask someone to evaluate them. And you know what? Even if you don't need it in your current path, you know, that project's repeated in another path. Get the evaluation and save it and put it in your back pocket. So when you purchase another path, you already have that project done.
Indeed. And she's added one more question. How many coordinators per Speechcraft?
1 coordinator for each 5 members is what the recommendation is. To get more than 5, I recommend you get another Speechcraft coordinator so they can get credit as well. Share the fun of doing it. Let someone else get credit for it too.
Fabulous. I believe we are all enriched by your presentation, DTM. Anne, thank you so much for joining us. I believe it's early morning in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Thank
Like
you. Noontime. Thank you for joining us. In District 114, on behalf of the Program Quality Director and the members here, please unmute and let us congratulate and thank DTM Anne Golden for this session.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I love certificates. Thank you.
Most welcome. I'll give it to you soonest.
All right. Have a good one.
Same to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Bye now. Thank you so much. It was an honor to be here.
Most welcome. The honor was ours. The pleasure was ours.
Have a great one.
Thank you. That was only the first session, which was Speechcraft. Let me know what you've learned in the chat in a short phrase or sentence as I introduce our next presenter. You may know Sarah Adhiambo as a past convener, as a Kwanzaa Toastmaster. She is going to facilitate our next session, which is the Youth Leadership Program. She is an accomplished leader, mentor, and dedicated Toastmaster whose journey began in 2017. She has held various leadership roles, including President, VPE, VPM, and has extended her impact beyond the club level as an area top director, club mentor, and coach. Her passion for youth leadership is evident in her work with Kwanzaa Kids Youth Leadership Program. A trailblazer in District 204, Sarah was the first in the district to complete a Pathways Path in 2019, later serving as a District 204 Pathways Ambassador to support members in transitioning to the new curriculum. Her most noble achievement was leading TCON 2023. TCON is the Toastmasters East African Conference, a major Toastmasters conference in East Africa as a conference convener. She holds multiple distinctions, including competent communicator, competent leader, leadership excellence, and presentation mastery, and is currently completing her effective coaching path, aiming for the prestigious DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Award. After a brief hiatus, she returned with a renewed commitment to mentorship, currently guiding 6 mentees with a goal to mentor at least 20 by year's end. Beyond Toastmasters, Sarah is a managing director of the Edge Life Skills Consultants and a youth leadership mentor under the Edge Youth Leadership Academy. She applies her public speaking and leadership expertise to professional training, reinforcing her belief that mastery is a continuous journey of learning and growth. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Sarah Adhiambo. Let us unmute and invite her to the virtual stage.
Thank you very much.
I'm Sarah. Wait.
What? Thank you very much, our esteemed TLI Chair, Dr. Kevin Rubia, and the audience at large for that warm welcome. Paying it forward is an idiom I first encountered when I joined Toastmasters in the year 2017. It is also when I joined Toastmasters that I realized that paying it forward does pay. I will give an example of how paying it forward in Toastmasters has paid off for me. And what better example to give than our agenda for this evening, the Youth Leadership Program. When I joined Toastmasters in 2017, I found myself being thrown under the bus, for lack of a better term, when my mentor and coach, Maggie Waidhiru, who you might all know, requested me to join part of what then was the Kwanzaa Kids Youth Leadership Program. Never in my wildest dream did I think that I, who back then thought I would never care for teenagers, would be part and parcel of a youth leadership program, more so one that supported this age group to nurture very critical and crucial skills, that is public speaking, communication, and leadership. Fast forward, I ended up being a youth leadership coordinator for 2 consecutive years. That is the Toastmaster year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019. It is from paying it forward that I started a youth leadership program that has metamorphosed over around 7 or so years, and now known as the Edge Youth Leadership Academy. And speaking of Youth Leadership Academy, how conversant are we all here on Matters Youth Leadership Academy? I would like us to engage in a very exciting exercise, which doubles up as a table topics. Kindly let me know if you can see my screen, my chat master, Kevin Rubia.
Yes.
So I had the opportunity to quickly put in your names as our first speaker was presenting. And I hope that those whose names I have captured here are still in this meeting. So very quickly, we'll do a random table topics of about 5 questions. I will spin the wheel, then whoever's name will be highlighted or pinpointed will be the person to respond to that question, even as I ask everybody else to also respond to that question. So we are testing our knowledge on youth leadership program, as well as seeing whether or not your expectations for this particular session will be captured from the presentation that I will be making. So let's go. Do we have Gladwell Mwiti in the house? I think I saw Gladwell Mwiti. Gladwell Mwiti, please
Yes.
unmute yourself. Awesome. So my question to you, even as I ask everybody else to type that on the chat, who qualifies to coordinate a youth leadership program? Who qualifies to coordinate a youth leadership program? Very quickly, in about 15 or so seconds. Who do you think
Number one,
qualifies?
anybody who is already a youth, of course, any adult qualifies because you've gone through that stage.
All right.
Also, it depends on what you want to mentor or coach on. You must have the knowledge and expertise.
Okay. So let's put a pin to that. We will see whether or not you are right. Even as I ask anybody who cares to share who they think qualifies to be a youth leadership coordinator. Please type on the chat for us. And the second question goes to none other than my good friend, club, a colleague, and past district director, Japhet Musau. Japhet Musau, are you in the house?
Yes,
Japhet,
I'm in the house.
right, this goes to you, distinguished Toastmaster Japhet Musau. Is a youth leadership program the same as a Gavel Club? Is a youth leadership program the same as a Gavel Club?
No, it's not.
Care to
The youth
explain?
leadership program is a short-term program for 8 sessions or thereabout, but a Gavel Club is a continuous club by members who, either because of age or other circumstances, are not able to form a fully fledged Toastmasters club.
Fantastic. So that question has been answered. In case you had that question in mind, there you go. Distinguished Toastmaster Japhet Musau, past district director, has answered that for us, at least briefly. Our third question goes to, it's oscillating between, yes, it's Sumaya Juma. Sumaya Juma, are you in the house? Sumaya Juma, are you in the house? Sumaya. If Sumaya is unavailable, I will pass it on to the next person who I see is joining in, Catherine Coyot. Catherine Coyot, could you kindly answer this question on behalf of Sumaya? What age should participants of a youth leadership program be?
And the participants are all supposed to be under 18, I believe.
Absolutely right, under 18, and to be specific, there is a range 14 to 18 years. Thanks for that, Catherine. Let's move on to our penultimate question. How long does it take to get the youth leadership workbook once somebody has placed an order? How long do you think, Nicholas Njubi, it takes to get the youth leadership workbook once one has placed an order? Nicholas, are you in the house? If Nicholas is unavailable to respond to this question, I will pick the next person who is close to the wheel. Atul Sarkar, I saw you in the house. Are you still there, Atul? Atul, rather?
Yes.
Yes, did you get my question?
Pardon, can you repeat once again?
How long does it take to get the youth leadership workbook once one has placed an order? How long do you think it takes?
Maybe 14 working days.
14 working days. Let's wait and see if that is the case. Last but not the least, this question I will pose to Wendy Nakitari. Are you in the house, Wendy Nakitari? Wendy Nakitari, are you in the house? If Wendy is not in the house, then I will randomly pick somebody from the gallery. I see Lucy Wanjiro, my good friend. Lucy Wanjiro, to you, I will not ask a question. I will ask, what other question do you have as regards the youth leadership program? And I will respond to that. What other question, Lucy, may you have as regards to the youth leadership program?
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
What other question do I have in regards to the youth leadership program? I'm curious to see how we can implement the same with, I know it's between 14 and 18 years. And I'm very curious to find out if there can possibly be anything, a stretch below 14 years, because I feel that we need to start even earlier as Toastmasters to bring these skills to our children.
I hear you. Let's see whether that question will be responded to in my presentation. So those questions, I have not come up with them ad hocly. Those are some of the questions that you posed when you were registering for this particular session. There are many more, which I will ask our chat master, our TLI chair, Kevin Rubia, to read out depending on how much time we will have to respond to them. And if we will not finish the questions, we will collate all the questions that you may have, and through the TLI chair, you will get to your questions answered. So here we go. What does the youth leadership program entail? The youth leadership program is a workshop that consists of 8 1 to 2 hour sessions that enables youth between the ages of 14 to 18 to develop their communication and leadership skills through practical experience. So please note that the sessions have to be 8 and the duration is between 1 to 2 hours. The program is presented during or after school or on weekends. If I may give an example of how I was able to run the Kwanzaa Kids Youth Leadership Program, during the holidays, we would have the sessions every Saturday. So that meant 8 Saturdays. And you might wonder, 8 Saturdays, is there a holiday that has as many Saturdays? So this means that we had to stretch. I remember during the first cohort of the program that I ran, we did half in April and another one in August. And then the rest was done in December. And there were some sessions when we had to do more than a Saturday. It included also, I think, doing midweek so that we could qualify for the 8 sessions. So it is imperative for you to know that they have to be 8 sessions. Then the youth leadership coordinator is appointed by the club president. The club president uses his or her own discretion to pick the youth leadership coordinator. And as the youth leadership coordinator, then you appoint an assistant to help you with the program. Or you can appoint a couple of mentors. For instance, when the Kwanzaa Kids Youth Leadership Program started, there were well over 40 kids. So this is not something that the youth leadership coordinator or even his or her assistant can manage. I remember we had Toastmasters from across the district, Toastmasters from Rafiki Toastmasters, from Sema Toastmasters, and many other clubs that came to assist us. Then the program, stipulates that the coordinator should be an experienced Toastmaster who has delivered at least 6 speeches from the Competent Communicator Manual, or if you are undertaking the pathways curriculum, you should have completed at least level 2. All right? So take note of that. In case you haven't completed level 2 or you hadn't reached CC6, what we used to call it then you will need to wait until you finish at least level 2. In the meantime, you can still be an assistant, you can still be a mentor, you will get a certificate for that, but not an accreditation. Then in the workshop, young people of that age that has been mentioned evaluate their own speaking abilities, prepare and deliver speeches, give impromptu talks, and are also taught how to control their voice, vocabulary, and how to use gestures appropriately, as well as give constructive feedback and more. How then does the program work? Participants in the youth leadership program are selected by a sponsoring Toastmasters club. So just like the Speechcraft, it has to be done through a club or by a cooperating organization such as a school or a church. And the workshops are limited to 25 students and are coordinated by Toastmaster members with the oversight of their club. So don't go doing a youth leadership program without the ratification of your club president and without it being under the umbrella of your club. Meetings are run like any other Toastmaster meetings, where an announced agenda is shared. It includes practice in parliamentary procedure, prepared and impromptu speeches, and you do have to select presiding officers who will be leading the program for the next 8 sessions. The 8 sessions include introduction to chairmanship, or rather the club leadership. So you have to elect leaders who will oversee the running of the youth leadership program, over and above that being handled by the youth leadership coordinator and his assistants. Then our second session will cover introduction to public speaking. Then we move on to impromptu speaking, which is the table topics, organizing your speech, listening, active listening, gestures in speaking, voice and vocabulary, and then show your skills. This is where they actually now get to deliver their speeches. I remember when we were doing it, by the time we were done with the 8 sessions, they had all covered their icebreakers and the organize your speech. Those were the 2 speeches that they were able to deliver within those 8 sessions. Then this program culminates into a showcase day or a speech event where they get to call everybody, their friends, their schoolmates, their parents, just to showcase what they have learned from the program. The requirements to coordinate the youth leadership program: you need a youth leadership program workbook. And from here, you can see that the youth leadership program workbook costs $3. Then you need a youth leadership coordinator's guide, you being the coordinator, and that costs $8. Another additional resource material that you can buy, which I found helpful but is not compulsory for you to have, is the interpersonal communication kit. This kit helps the team leader, in this case the coordinator and his assistants, to design a support existing youth program and groups in helping the teenagers learn to become better communicators. You will find out once you start interacting with this audience that pleasing them is not very easy. So from these resource materials, all the 3 that I have mentioned, they're interactive, fun, and engaging ways of ensuring that they like what they are learning and they enjoy it and are able to apply it outside of the youth leadership program. The club president appoints an experienced and trusted Toastmaster to coordinate the program. So to answer the question that I first asked, who qualifies to be a coordinator? 1, you must have finished your CC6 or level 2 of pathways, and it is to the discretion of the club president to ascertain whether you're experienced and trusted enough to coordinate the program. Imagine running 8 sections every Saturday in December. It takes a lot of sacrifice, and so you must be committed. And this, your club president should ascertain. And lastly, I think I'm on my last slide, and I don't know why it's, yes, this should be my last slide. For any additional information or inquiries that you may need, you can channel your concerns or your questions to educationprogram@toastmasters.org. And this is especially to those who have completed a youth leadership program or might want to undertake a youth leadership program and would want to know how best they can go about getting the credit for it over and above what I have already shared. To purchase the youth leadership program workbooks and manuals, you can do this through that link that is shared there. And lastly, to order items that are not included in the store catalog, you can write to Logistics Manager Biruk Ayawel at District 114 Toastmasters@gmail.com. So going back to how I started on matters paying it forward, I would like to give a good example that has been emulated by our very own TLI chair, Kevin Rubia. Kevin Rubia is one Toastmaster who I can vouch for and say that he has proven to all of us that paying it forward really does pay. I know for a fact that it is just from what he has been able to do for the district at a club, area, division, and district level that he's now reaping some of the fruits. So whatever it is that you're doing in Toastmasters, don't do it having an ulterior motive of how you will gain, but rather pay it forward. And I assure you, somebody somewhere is watching. Back to you, TLI Chair.
Thank you, much obliged, Sarah Adhiambo, our trainer or facilitator for the Youth Leadership Program. You surprised me there. I thought you were just about to give me 1 million Kenya shillings. I was getting ready to react. Nonetheless, we are doing this out of service. And on that note, do we have any questions, friends, on the Youth Leadership Program? A question from Rehab Gashango, over to you.
Sarah, thank you so much for your session. I just wanted to find out, like in the Speechcraft, you could compress the sessions to, I think, about 6. Are you allowed to do that with the leadership one as well, or it must be 8 sessions?
In my opinion, you should and must do 8 sessions, but you could combine in a day. Say on a Saturday, you could do session 1 and take a break like we used to do, and then move on to session 2. Nonetheless, I wouldn't hurry it much. As you have seen, the sessions are packed from learning or getting comfortable being a public speaker, to organizing your speech, to impromptu. And as we have learned in Toastmasters, the growth happens when it's progressive. And these are teenagers. So you don't want to really rush the program all in the name of, I want to finish this program. So I would suggest you just keep to the 8 sessions. But if for one reason or another you have to combine, look at those sessions that you could combine within a day, but run them separately. Run, let's say, session 3, take a short break, maybe a lunch break or a tea break, then move on to the next one. But I would advocate for the former. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. That's okay. Thanks.
Toastmaster Eric Karaoke, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarah. I have 3 questions. The first question is, what is the process of selecting the teenagers? Is it you partner with the school? Is it you get your neighbors' kids? Like, how is it done in terms of that process? Secondly, where is the parental consent? How is it involved in that? Because they're still under 18, and that needs to be very clear. And then thirdly, what's the program continuity? How does it look like? Or is it we do the 8 sessions, we're good, done, bye, I've moved on? Like, what's the continuity for these kids? Because it's like you've lit a fire and then you're just It's project has a start and an end. So how does that go? Those are my 3 questions.
Thank you for your questions. I hope my chat master, you are noting them down. I might not remember all of them. Starting with the most recent that you have asked, let me use the power of recency. What is the continuity process, or how do we continue? So they could repeat coming, number one, every other time we have the youth leadership programs running. I don't think they can ever run out of learning the same thing over and over again. Say, for instance, somebody is 14 years. It's a whole 4 years before they can qualify to join a fully fledged Toastmasters club. Nonetheless, we have the Gavel clubs, which are separate from our youth leadership programs, and distinguished Toastmaster Japheth Musau has given us the distinction between the two. So the youth leadership program is defined, it's 8 sessions and we are done, but the Gavel club can now help them to do exactly what we do in Toastmasters, only that they're underage. And thereafter, after they turn 18, then they can join a fully fledged Toastmaster club. Does that answer your question, Eric?
Yes. Yes, it does. It not really entirely, but it kind of answers it, because I'm thinking you're 14 years old, 4 years to go. I mean, there's only, and the teenage attention span is also very limited. So I'm just trying to see, yeah, kind of.
From a point of knowledge, I ran a youth leadership program outside of Toastmasters, and we have been running it for around 7 or so years, pre-COVID and now post-COVID. And there are some teenagers who have been there the whole time, to the point that now they have become facilitators. So that's one of the things to aim for. Once they are done with the program, then you could already entice them to come back and now start being the mentors and the volunteers. And I think that's a great challenge for them. And every time they listen to a speech or an undertaking during the sessions, I bet they will learn something new.
Thank you.
As we move on to the next question, Kevin, could you remind me, or Eric?
Yes, Andrew has posted the questions. How do you choose the youth? Is it from schools or from the neighborhood? And how do you get consent?
All right. So we all have communities that we interact with in our spaces. So Toastmaster even gives examples on the youth leadership workbook. It could be a church, it could be a school, it could be Rotaract, it could be any institution that you know you can be able to consolidate the youth. And yes, when they are signing up for the youth leadership program, then there's a consent form that the parents or the guardians have to sign to release them to be part of the youth leadership program.
Eric, please put a thumbs up in the chat if you are content. I will go straight to the questions that are coming. Is the program targeted towards Toastmasters or non-Toastmasters? And on the same note, what are the benefits of running the youth leadership program? Those two, and I have other 2 to come.
So it's obviously to the entire community. So it can target parents or guardians who are Toastmasters to bring on board their teenagers. And it can also target, like we have said, you can reach out to schools, you can reach out to any institution that can help you consolidate the youth. So it's open to all and sundry.
Thank you. And the benefits of running the youth leadership program?
The benefits are innumerable. One, when our first speaker was jubilating over getting the certificate, I have 3 certificates here. Twice I was a mentor. I don't know whether you can see. And twice I was a coordinator. So that's one of the benefits. We all like being appreciated. And these very certificates I have used to get opportunities to facilitate youth leadership programs. And going back to what I had said, paying it forward. It's from holding the hands of these young leaders that you get a sense of fulfillment. And also, like I said, you never know who is watching. Right now, I can attest that the entity that I run is all as a result of me volunteering as a mentor and a coordinator back then when we were running Kwanza Kids Youth Leadership Program, amongst many other benefits that I'm sure we could go on about.
Paying it forward indeed. Just to add to that is the DTM credit. Should you choose to go with that, you can do the youth leadership program or Speechcraft or club sponsor. It gives you that credit. Question, how long does it take to get the resources once someone orders them? And
back then we were using, they were being shipped. I don't know if this has since changed, but I talked to President Talam of Eldoret Toastmasters this afternoon, and she mentioned to me that the same procedure was used, and it took exactly a month for the package to arrive. So if you want to start, let's say, if you are intended to start this holidays, April, and you have not yet placed your order, I'm sorry to tell you that you may not be able to run with the program, and the earliest you might get it is 1 month from now. Yeah.
thank you.
I see Mercy saying she can't see my certificate. I think it's because of my background. This is a genuine certificate. It is a genuine certificate. Mercy, I will take pictures of all the 4 certificates and send to you. Signed by my club president then, Morika Oraro. Yeah.
Is the program sort of like an expedited Gavel Club?
I think
from
we
DTM
responded.
Tadese.
Sorry?
From DTM Tadese.
I would say so. It is the beginning of anyone who is interested to become a Toastmaster to join. I think it warms up any teenager to knowing much about Toastmasters, the benefits of becoming an orator, a leader, and a communicator. And those who want to segue can certainly join a Gavel Club or later on a fully fledged Toastmaster Club.
Great. And remember, friends, to be a Toastmaster and get through the Pathways program, you must be 18 and above. Gavel clubs and youth leadership programs are for those who are less than 18. There was a question from Princess. Where is it? Is the program chargeable or free for the youth?
Sorry?
Do we charge or is it free for the youth?
No, we don't charge. The thing you might decide to charge as a club, because remember this is being done at club level, is I remember when we were doing it Kwanza, we were doing it at YWCA hostels, and there was a cost to the venue, and there were snacks that they had to take during tea break. So those are the kind of costs. But charging them that now, because you're part and parcel of the youth leadership program, no, that one we don't do. You're welcome, Ethiopis. I see you thanking me.
Gladwell puts in the comments that a Gavel Club is long-term. Why choose a youth leadership program?
It depends with your why, Gladwell. First and foremost, as an individual, I was doing it back then. So the question, is it to the coordinator, the mentor, or the participants? Gladwell, if I might get clarification from you. Is the why for the coordinator and the mentors, or the participants for the youth leadership program? But let me respond on both ends. As a coordinator, 1, sense of fulfillment. 2, as Kevin has aptly put it, it is one of the projects that you can undertake to get your Distinguished Toastmaster Award. It opens doors. Let me just go back to the example I've given about myself. And it helps you to sharpen your skills. You being the coordinator, the coordination skills, the mentorship and coaching is a whole lot of skill sets that you might not get when you just a regular Toastmaster member. And to the participants, like we said, everybody has their why. For some people, Toastmaster, even for example, is not the thing for them. Otherwise, each and every one of us here on earth would be Toastmasters. But you find some people signing up for public speaking coaching outside of Toastmasters. So you will find that in as much as it's a supportive environment as we know it, some people have their different whys why they would not join Toastmasters. Similarly, maybe the parents to the participants or the participants themselves have a reason why they choose the youth leadership program as opposed to the Gavel Club. It just depends on what your why is. I don't know if that answers your question, Gladwell.
No, it doesn't, because this is what I'm looking at. I don't know much about the benefits, and if the Gavel clubs are formed still by Toastmasters, and if they get awarded for it. But I'm looking at it as a parent. If my son joins a Gavel club, they will continue with it until they are 18. This other one is just a short-term program, which then you have to look for other activities to continue. I don't know. I need to buy the whole idea of why the youth leadership program.
Again,
because
like
then the same questions will come to us from the parent.
Like I said, it depends with your why. Going to my example of running a youth leadership program outside of Toastmasters, I have parents who kids came to my program just because they were participating in World Scholars. And they wanted the kids to, get that grip of how to deliver a well-organized speech, go and participate in World Scholars internationally, and boom, maybe this child is a swimmer or wants to be a gamer. And the aspect of youth leadership program or public speaking was just a one-off thing. So similarly, not every parent will buy or want their child to be an eloquent speaker, for instance. Maybe they want them to be a footballer, maybe they want them to be a swimmer. So it all boils down to what is your why.
Well
I
understood.
agree.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gladwell, for that. Just to also echo that, Josephine Osumo says, I think the youth leadership is a way for the teenager to gauge if they want to continue with it. It's a pathway, just like how through Speechcraft, people can decide, I liked this, I can actually do this long term. And that could be a gateway to a Gavel club, for instance, or even a Toastmasters club, should they turn 18 and can join one. What is the ballpark cost for running the youth program? Who finances it? Outside the cost of buying I think it's supposed to be the workbook from Toastmasters International. The costs and who finances it outside buying the book itself, the workbooks.
So outside buying the workbooks, the only finance that I would associate with running the program, like I said, is venue costs. And it depends. My club, for instance, had the privilege of being able to sponsor this from the member kitty. Remember, Kwanzaa is a club that has been existent for how many years now, Japheth? 42. Some of us may not have been born. Is it 42 or 43, DTM Japheth?
Yeah, thereabout, you're in the ballpark. Yeah, 43.
Yes, so Kwanzaa had the privilege to have, and I think up until now we can brag that we can be able to sponsor such programs at our cost. Nonetheless, if you are a budding club, then you may look for ways through club leadership consensus on how you might sponsor this. I did mention that some of the costs that you might pass to the participants is the cost of the venue. And if you decide that they will not carry their own snacks and you will be providing the same at the venue, then those are the costs that you will tell them, hey, this program you're not paying, but we need some little money to pay, maybe as little as 500 for venue costs, as well as for your snacks or whatever it is. And that can be borne by the club, or you can pass it to the participants. Pass it on.
And the last question, you mentioned the coordinator is selected by the club president. Who are the other team members and who selects them?
All right. So the coordinator, yes, is approved by the club president. The club president doesn't necessarily have to say, so Kevin Rubia, we want you to be the one to run with the program. On the other hand, you can have identified a community of teenagers and youth that you want to facilitate this program to, and then reach out to your club leader. And it is your club leader's, that's the president, discretion to say, yes, I can vouch for Kevin to be able to run with this program. Remember, it is only the coordinator who gets the credit. The rest are the what we call assistants or youth leadership mentors. I remember when we were running this in Kwanzaa, we had as many as even 10, but only one of us. At that time, Monica Oraro, then followed Maggie Waithiru, then me, then someone else came after me. So the coordinator can select who they want to help them run the program, or you can reach out to the coordinator and pay it forward for no credit, but you will get a certificate, and at one point or another, it will pay off.
Yes, there is one final question and that I missed. Thank you, Nicholas, for pointing it out. For more clarity, what's the difference between youth leadership program and the interpersonal communication program? That's number one, the difference between the two programs. And secondly, a question that has just come in, what's the minimum number of youth you can have? And can you have several coordinators like Speechcraft?
Okay. So I will start with the minimum number or the maximum. The stipulated number of youth for the program is 25, the maximum, but you can go with less than that. And obviously, if you're running a youth leadership program, you will not be conducting a program that has 2 teenagers and purport that you have run a youth leadership program. I say use it to your discretion. It needs to be a sizable number, but the maximum is 25. When it comes to the interpersonal communication program, I will be honest to admit that I have not interacted with it. However, I did see it this afternoon as I was preparing for this presentation to be an additional program or resource that those who are running a youth leadership program can borrow from, just to make the sessions interactive and fun and engaging. It is, however, separate from the youth leadership program. I recommend our TLI chair to organize for a different session for the interpersonal communication program for us to get to understand it better. Or if anybody here in this forum is able to respond to that, then perhaps TLI chair, you can give them a minute or two to respond.
I will respond because of time. On checking the interpersonal communication program in Toastmasters International website, it helps teens build effective listening and communication skills while understanding their own communication style. The program features materials designed for teachers and other adult community members who mentor young people. So it's specifically for teachers or active members in the community looking to help teenagers grow their communication skills. And it includes 2 manuals, team member manual and team leader manual. I will post it in the chat. The only thing is that this might not earn you DTM credit. And if you are a teacher, this might suit you. That is the link to the interpersonal communication program. Lastly, because it is a burning question, Eric Karaoke's hand is raised, but I don't know if we answered whether Can you have several coordinators like Speechcraft? You had mentioned mentors, but it's only one person who gets the credit for coordinating, right?
Yes, you can only have one coordinator per program, per the 8 sessions, only one. The rest are mentors. I will use the lingo. Is it the Gen Z lingo? The rest are in it for the vibes. Okay. Yeah.
It is 8:31 p.m. East African time. We had scheduled to end by 8:30. As this has been a very engaging and informative session, I request your indulgence to finish with the questions. Should you need to leave, feel free. However, you might not win your banner. Yes, I see Eric's hand. I'm just asking for indulgence. In case you needed to leave, you're welcome to do so. After this are the final questions and the quiz by Toastmaster David Gray. Over to you, Eric.
So, my final question is can more than one club sponsor the youth program? It always has to be one club at any given time.
I mean, how many clubs do we have in District 114, TLI Chair?
I would say 70, 74.
We could have 74 youth leadership programs running concurrently. We could even have more than one youth leadership program running within a club, coordinated by members of the same club. I could be running one here, and then who else is from my club? Japheth could be running another one. But remember, you must meet the requirements, starting with seeking for approval from the club leadership, and then adhering to all the other stipulated guidelines that we have talked about. So anybody can run as many youth leadership programs as they wish, as long as you meet the requirements. Does that answer the question, Eric?
It gives perspective, but not entirely. So I'm asking, can Rongai Toastmasters, Downtown Toastmasters, SmartSpeak come together and say, we're going to run one youth program for 25 participants? Or is it that only, it's one club sponsor? That's what I really want to understand.
Yeah. So Rongai and SEMA and Kwanza can have members supporting one particular coordinator, say from Rongai, and that is the individual who will then get the credit. Rongai, Eric Karaoke, is the coordinator of Rongai Youth Leadership Program, but you are seeking support from mentors and assistants across any club in District 114. So in terms of the resource individuals, it can be a mixture of members across District 114, but the youth leadership program has to be attached to a particular club, and credit goes to one coordinator who is a member of a certain club.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm happy that we have questions. Usually the issue is not having questions and having to think about the questions yourself as a person who's moderating. My heart is full. Any other person with a question before we close this session? Even on Speechcraft, should you have one? On behalf of the members present here and the Program Quality Director, TM Demelash Wundimagen, I present to you Sarah Adhiambo this certificate of appreciation for taking us through the Youth Leadership Program. Let's unmute and celebrate our facilitator.
Thank you very much.
Now comes the time to test our wits, I dare say, the hack session of this whole training. To take us through the final and exciting part where we test what you've learned is David Gray, quiz master. He's a teacher by training and a quiz master by profession. He currently serves as the chief quiz master at Quiz Masters Africa Limited, a boutique education company that offers training and team building solutions using quizzes, as well as offer quiz entertainment options for entertainment, sports, corporate companies, and educational institutions across Africa. He's dedicated and passionate in growing a generation of great public speakers and leaders. Additionally, he has served as the founding national chairman of Kenya National Debate Council from 2010 to 2016. Please help me welcome our quiz master, David Gray. He has already posted the link in the chat. Over to you, Mr. Gray, to run this interactive session.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Kevin Rubia. I hope I can be heard by everyone, and good evening, everyone.
Loud and clear, good evening.
Amazing, amazing. So kindly, first of all, I know that you have your attention on lock, all Toastmaster members and guests. So just check out on the chat section. There's a link I've posted for our Kahoot session, which will be 12 questions long. And if you're wondering why you can't see me, it's because my makeup was set to expire by 8:30. So right now I am not camera ready. So we shall just have to settle for my voice. So right about now, I would suggest kindly, Dr. Kevin, to enable me to share my screen. Since we are short of time, we are having a chance to answer 12 questions, which will be touching on matters Speechcraft, which was aptly shared by Anne Golden. Yes, Anne Golden gave us a golden session. I learned quite a number of things, and I definitely would take back some of the learnings to my home club. And again, we had an amazing session run by Toastmaster Sarah on matters youth leadership. And I'm sure most of us have been able to learn a thing or two about setting up something similar in our clubs. So right now I can see we have 12 members who have joined in for this Kahoot session. It will go as fast as lightning. Yes. I know in Nairobi it's chilly, so get your minds running with this 12-question Kahoot. It will focus on matter Speechcraft and youth leadership, exactly what Anne Golden and Sarah Adhiambo shared over the past 1 hour and a half. So we have CJC. Welcome to you, CJC. Boom, boom. Yes, boom, boom, I see you clearly. You are gunning to blow us off the water. I can see you, Eric Karaoke. Karibu sana. I see you, Ray. Kahawa Moto. Kahawa Moto, you are not keeping it a secret that you're having warm coffee. Wow. Gen Z. I see you, Gen Z. Welcome. Shiro in the house. Nessie G. TJ as well. And we have Kagoldi, Darius N. Bear, Nick, Claire, and Darius NK. So, because of time, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters, we shall just delve into it very fast. And this is your opportunity to be a CC, not a competent communicator, but a club celebrity, because you shall win a banner for your club. So if you are ready, this is something I do every single time. Unmute yourself and say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, I can,
Aye.
I can, amazing, amazing. I can hear all your eyes on the screen right now. Let's proceed. We have coming in thick and fast matters Speechcraft and youth leadership in the next 3, 2, 1, it's a recap. Number 1 out of 12, it's a true or false question. Speechcraft and youth leadership programs participants are non-Toastmasters. Again, I told you, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But again, it's warm, so shall squeeze some lemons and make some lemonade out of it. And with 13 answers keyed in so far, if you're just joining us now, check out on the chat. And definitely, if you are here and you had your ears on ground, definitely know that these participants are non-Toastmasters. That is, our youth and individuals who want to improve their speaking skills fast-tracked. You can see Darius NK, Bear, Eric Karaoke in third, Clay in second place, and CJC on the top rostrum. But will you keep up? Number 2, we have speech crafters who join a Toastmasters club and select a path, can get credit for speeches already delivered. Is it true or is it false? Here you can see on the picture, we have some champagne being poured. Everyone who thinks about Toastmasters perhaps think about champagne, but it's all about crafting amazing speeches. And again, all of you clearly are not taking champagne, you're taking some kahawa moto. And we have Claire clearly was taking some champagne because she has dropped off from the top 5. And Ray has taken up their position. Well done, Ray. Bear in 4th place, Darius NK in 3rd, Eric Karaoke second place, and CJC still resting on the top spot. Number 3, we have another true or false question. Areas, divisions, and districts can conduct speechcraft programs. Is this statement true or false? Again, that was a golden presentation by Anne. Clarity was achieved for sure. And for areas and divisions and districts, they cannot. So that is false. With 6 of us wishing that TI would expand to the areas, but again, we need some accountability on club level. Top 5 remaining unchanged for this one. Well done. Number 4, true or false? We have a Speechcraft youth leadership coordinator doesn't need to serve as a club sponsor for DTM credits. Is that true or false? Again, this was a point that was shared during Anne's session in terms of benefits of being a Speechcraft coordinator, and true to word, it is definitely true that they don't need to serve, because being a coordinator is amazing. Yeah, you should try that once in a while. Darius NK and Ray switching positions. Ray in 2nd place now, Darius in 5th, Eric Karaoke dropping down to 4th, Bear on a bear run, or is it in 3rd? CJC still leading. Man, CJC, you are on fire. Number 5 out of 12, we have how much in US dollars is a Speechcraft digital bundle? Again, let's hope that President Trump will not add some tariffs on this amount. If not, it will remain, and still will remain over the foreseeable future. It shall be 50 US dollars. But if you got to 120, my friend, you are way off the top. 50 USD, we have how many of us? Not even majority, only 4. Wow, that was a savage question. Darius, I'm sorry, I spoke too soon. You're back in 2nd place. Nick now in 5th place. Bear on a bear run now, dropping down to 4th. Ray in 3rd place, and CJC still leading. Well done, CJC. Halfway point, also I said a question. How many sessions does the youth leadership program recommend? So even as we invite all our young ones, our teenagers from 14 years to 18 years for this free sessions to encourage them to join Toastmasters in future. How many sessions are recommended? And it is a nice sweet spot of not 10, not even 20, but just before 10, just to say, not better, guys, we are there, 8 sessions, which should be enough to cover the curriculum that is shared by TI. Again, for this one, positions remaining the same. Number 7, it's a quiz question. The Speechcraft digital bundle includes the following except what? Except a pathway in red, coordinator quick start guide, marketing materials in orange, or printable resources. So when you go to Basecamp, Toastmasters, you get a lot of resources. And that is also where you get Matters Speechcraft. But what you don't get for that program is a pathway. Yes, they don't get a pathway. However, the participants get to be members for 6 months because you've bundled up their membership fees on their Speechcraft fees. Darius, now in second place now. Well done. Ray in third. Nick, Eddie Karaoke Mixer returned to the top 5, but CJC, seems you had my Kahoot password. Next question, number 8, is the learning portal is only available on Basecamp for days after the final Speechcraft session. We have those 4 choices. If you don't know, just take a wild guess. I promise you, you won't go on a wild goose chase. If you do, we'll all be wild. Well done for the ones who said 90 days. Amazing stuff. And let's see who believes in matters 3 months. And Eric Karaoke switching positions with Nick, Ray, Darius, and CJC still maintaining their respective positions on the podium. Number 9, we have the Youth Leadership Program sessions include the following except what? We have those 4 choices. We have researching and presenting, voice and vocabulary, organizing your speech, impromptu speaking. You can tell all these modules are amazing. So let's see. We have, well done, to 7 of you getting it correct. Answer is researching and presenting. Standings now. Let's see. We have Nick dropping down to 6th place, I believe. Gen Z protesting now in 5th place. Eric Karaoke, Ray, Darius, and CJC still in their positions. And we have number 10, all our Speechcraft program topics, except which one? Is it choose a topic, know your audience, powerful words, or how to evaluate? All these topics are amazing to know. And if you become, or when you become a Speechcraft coordinator, you get to pay it forward as you also solidify your knowledge as speaker. And whilst it's important to know your audience, all of us need to know that know your audience is not part of a Speechcraft program with only one person getting it correct. Amazing. I think this will be the clincher right here. Let's see CJC. Oh, clearly Bear is now on a bull run. Well done. CJC still in the lead. The penultimate question is, this is a multi-select question. We have the Speechcraft program can be used to do what? We have those 4 choices. Pick whatever applies. Pick whatever applies. We have those 4 choices. Publicize the club, build club membership, raise funds for the club, or make profit for the club. Let's see. And again, pick whatever applies. And we have those 4 choices. Making profit. Some of us put it, yes, we know it, we love making profit. But again, Toastmasters is not focused on that. Yes, it's all about raising money for the club. That is choice green. And the last question for this session is a puzzle question. Kahawa moto is being warm in Now up 3 places. Well done. Number 12, puzzle question. Order the steps taken by a Speechcraft coordinator from first to last. Then you have those 4 points. Create new event, purchase the digital bundle, log in to the Speechcraft gateway, and retrieve order confirmation email. Think of how you access your Basecamp. That should be a clue right there. Remember, you're a Speechcraft coordinator. You get to the club. If you want to start a Speechcraft program, what do you do first? Yes. Then what do you do next? Yes. Then third and fourth, go figure. Anne Golden gave us the answer inadvertently during her amazing golden presentation. Let's see, we have 12 answers kidding so far, and the order with 3, 2, 1 seconds. We have, first of all, you purchase the digital bundle. Then you go to your email address, or sorry, to email box, retrieve the order confirmation email, and you log in to the Speechcraft gateway. Then you create new event. In this case, the new event is your Speechcraft program, where you will have at least 5 participants taking part in it. Now you know. 4 of you getting the order correct. Amazing stuff. Mazel tov. All right, so we have in top 3 getting vibes and inshallah. Well done to you, Ray. Amazing. Second place, we have CJC. Wow, you lost it at the last hurdle because our winner for the banner March 2025, we have Darius NK. Again, well done, Darius. I spoke too soon. Clearly, you have proved me wrong. Well done, Darius. And there you have it. Darius on the top of the hill. V for victory, like Winston Churchill. Well done. Kindly send your screenshot to TLI coordinator, Dr. Kevin Rubia, for your pull-up banner. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you, the ever effervescent quiz master David Gray. I admire your voice. I wish I could have such a voice. That said, we have indeed enjoyed the session, and I'd like to know who are the top 3. Darius, please unmute. CJC and Ray, we'd like to know who you are and which club you are from.
In what order?
The order of unmuting. Who is that now?
This is Rahab. This is
Ray.
Rahab Ray. Yes.
Ray is third.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
My name is Rahab Gashango from Anchor Toastmasters.
Pleasure to have you, and congratulations for emerging third.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, my name is Darius Nkwasiwe. I am from
that-
Kampala Sunrise Toastmasters Club.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Kampala South is back.
Kampala Sunrise.
Sunrise, yay.
Yes.
That makes it even better. Please send me your number via private chat, and we can pick up this conversation. Congratulations, Darius, for being first. CJC is Kathy. Wow. Kathy was number 3, I think, in a previous one. Sorry for that. Darius came through. Great.
Yeah,
yes, Kathy.
I totally screwed it at the end.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry. It happens. It happens. But we still live to fight on. I want to first. Is David Gray still with us? He's gone. I wanted to give him his certificate of appreciation. That said, it has been a blast, friends. Thank you for your time. Hope you've learned a thing or two. This recording will be available and will be given to you at the end once it's ready. We'll possibly put it on YouTube, but I'll need to confirm that. That said, it has been a blast being your moderator for this session. I wish you a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon, depending where you're joining us from. Thank you. Our next session should be next month on the 5th week. The dates will be confirmed. That will be either the 29th, that's Tuesday, 29th of April, or 30th, or Wednesday. See you then. Feel free to leave at your own leisure.